what's the next thing they want to ask? They want to know, okay, well, how long does it take to get from here, the release, down to where it hits the ground and then it bounces, okay? So what's the time to get from here to here? Now, where would you go? What direction would you go? We've got 6 equations to choose from, right? I want to know how long it takes to hit the ground. So what's your first instinct? Which equation? Yeah. Yeah, good. I'm going to take this one, right? The thing about this point is that it's on the ground, where y is equal to 0. I don't know its x value. I could work it out, but I need to know the y value first. Okay. So I'm going to solve for, this is A, this is B. I'm going to solve for y equals 0. Okay. So you can have a look at this. When you put 0 on this side, okay, you're going to get a quadratic for t. Okay. Now, it looks a bit gross because you've got these trig functions in it, but stay with it and you see what happens. So I've got 0, I'll put 0 on the right hand side. I've got minus 5t squared minus 40t sine 7 plus 2.4. It's all equal to 0. Okay? Getting rid of that negative sign out the front. I'm going to write this, rather than 40t sine 7, I'm going to write it as 40 sine 7 and slap the t on the end. Okay, I hope you'll see why in a second. And there's that 2.4 hanging over there. Now I know we say that when you see a quadratic, yeah?
Minus 2.4?
Yep, totally. Thank you. Well spotted. Now, I know that when we see quadratics, we say, always try, don't go to the formula first, try factorizing, or try, something. Don't try anything with this, okay? So, because of that trig function stuck there in the middle, it makes it look gross, but it's just a constant, so we can deal with it just like any other constant, right? So let's jump straight into the quadratic formula. T is equal to minus b. Now, so I want that coefficient, that's why I wrote it on its own there and separated it from the t. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so there's my a and there's my c. Alright, there's the discriminant, all divided by 2a, which in this case is 10. Alright, now at this point, you have to write this out in full, okay? Specifically, you have to include the plus minus, because if you're solving a quadratic equation, you're going to have 2 solutions, okay? But my next line is to disregard one of the solutions, namely the one where I've got a negative out the front, and then I've got a minus sign in there. Why? Good. So I'm going to say t is greater than 0. That's my reason for disregarding a solution. Okay. So minus 40, have this out the front, plus, and this becomes 48 all over 10 as this applies. Okay? So I'm disregarding the negative. Alright, now it looks terrible, but get your calculator out. Assign 40 sine 7 to, whatever pronumeral you like, and then give it a go. Now, I think the number I worked out was, here we go, 0. So there's my value to 0.01 seconds. I think that's the accuracy they asked for. Okay. Now just pause for a minute. Does it make sense as a value? Does it seem consistent? 0.36 seconds. I think it does. I mean, the first response is, whoa, that's really small. But then you need to remember, whoa, it's going really fast. Okay. And if you think back to games of cricket are slow. I know, but this part is not that slow. Okay. So 0.36 is a realistic response. Okay? Now, the next thing they then ask for is the angle at which you hit the pitch. That's sort of this angle here. Okay, that angle there. Okay, sorry, that should really be on the top. You get the idea. Okay, so how do we work out that angle? Call it theta. Think back. We were asking the same question when we were looking at the tank, right? What information do we need to work out that angle? Yeah. Good, good. So at this point here, right, I'm going to have a little rectangle, okay? I can work out impact speed and velocity. Speed and velocity. Speed and angle, right? I can get that and then I can resolve it out, okay? We want to do it in reverse. So I want to know x dot and y dot. Now the reason why I asked that is so you know which equations you're going to go to in a second. Some of which I just rubbed off, okay? So we're going to take x dot and y dot. This is, I think I must be up to C, something like that, okay? And work out what they are. Now, we'll do x dot first, okay? Because x dot is actually the same throughout the whole scenario. It doesn't change at all, there's no acceleration on it, okay? So what was x dot? I think we said it was 40 cos 7? Was it? Yeah. Okay, we'll tuck that away for a second. Now, y dot. What's our equation for y dot? I think this was minus 10t. Is this plus or is it minus? Minus, isn't it? Yeah, because it's dropping. Minus 40 sine 7. Is that okay? So in order to work out what this is, well, that's just a constant, okay? But I need to know the time. Well, that's kind of handy because I just worked it out, right? So not only should you have had 40 sine 7 popped into your calculator so you can actually work out what that is, but once you arrive at your 0.3596 blah, 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 maybe you want to save that as well so that when we pop it in here, we can actually get an exact answer. Okay. So let's see here. What am I after? I want an angle, don't I? So I'm going to say tan theta is rise over run. Okay. So this is actually just calculator work in some senses. So long as you know what values you're after, evaluate them, get them into your calculator. And I think we've got. Actually, I'll wait and see if you guys can get the answer because I worked this out already. See if someone can get it. Be careful with your brackets as well. As you pop it into your calculator. Who can get there first? Anyone? Someone got a number? I'll give you a clue. It starts with a 0. That was a big clue, I know. Anyone got it? Who's got it? 2-1, 0.21, and so on. Okay. All right. Now, this is tan theta. So in order to get theta, you're going to have to take tan inverse, right? So I think I got. My bad. I think I got 12 degrees. They only want it to the closest degree, I think, and that's negative. Now, why is it negative? Because the ball's coming down, right? There's the angle that I'm interested in. Okay. Now, by the way, just be careful. This is the angle at the horizontal. Sometimes you're going to be hitting something that's vertical. Okay. So you might get this answer, but if I was hitting something vertical, the angle I'd be after would be 78, right? Because they're at right angles to each other. Okay. So just be careful what they're actually asking for. All right. Last question. I think it must be part B. Okay. They want to know, it's weirdly phrased, you got your batsman here, because that's what all batsmen hold their bats like, and they're saying that he's, I think, standing 19 meters away, something like that. That's about, yeah, is that about right? Anyway, he's that far away. They're interested in whether this ball lands at a position greater than 5 meters away from him, okay? If it lands really far away, what's going to happen is it's going to bounce, and because it bounces so early, it'll come up really high, okay? So they call that a short-pitched ball because it's really short along the pitch. So 5 meters is just kind of arbitrary, okay? So how can we work out where it lands? Where are we going to go? I want my horizontal sort of coordinate, right? So my x equation was 40t cos 7, or 40 cos 7t. Okay, so again, you're going to need to get that value that you popped into your calculator. When you multiply it out, what do you get? Someone got a value? This is a simpler one. Yeah? Yeah, good. Wait, 229? Okay, now, when you read the question, you've got it in front of you, question 12D, right? I think they say if it lands 5 meters away from him. So I guess that would be, what they're looking for is it within 5 meters or is it further? So within 5 meters, it would have to land at 14, right? So it lands at 14.29. So it's actually past that range where it would be short pitched. So the answer is no, it's not. Okay. So sometimes they'll give you these kind of arbitrary numbers and see if you can interpret some value, one of the simple of the 6 equations, to work out does it fit or does it not.